Oh, hi. How are you? How are you today? You're the big topic
Yeah,
of conversation.
apparently it's the most viral I've ever gone. I got into Dexterto.
Is Dexterto really big? Like, do they get a lot of
Well,
views?
yeah, so Dexterto used to be like a spammy tabloid about gaming influencers, but they like spammed enough that they got like pretty big.
Yeah.
So, um,
How would you like to start?
so I mean, I'll give a little bit of an overview first, which is that yeah, I made kind of like a very kind of like funny, kind of like memey video where I mean I made a video kind of about kind of the LSF moderator situation where I do kind of believe a lot of the things that I said in the video, but I definitely was playing it up like I'm a little bit in on the joke, I think. Okay, but yeah, that's really it. So, yeah, so what do you want to talk about?
1 second. I just want to make sure people can see the avatars.
Yeah, basically I made like a video where I was like really doing the overly invested kind of like Reddit mod thing. But yeah. I,
Do you think like that style of ironic humor gets through to people, or do you think like they know it's ironic, but they ignore the irony to make fun of you anyway? Because I think I noticed like Hasan when he reacts to your old videos on DGG, many of them are like memes, clearly memes,
yeah.
but he pretends to take them seriously. Do you think he's pretending or he's just so unaware?
It's hard to say because with this video, definitely people think that I'm like a 1,000,000% serious. Like I saw people that I respected. Some kind of reporter was like watching me and kind of getting his line by line kind of criticism. But this is like kind of, I mean, this is a little bit obviously intentional on my part. So it's not me. I call it, my favorite word is called post ironic. Okay, so that is where you make a point, you make a real point that you believe in, but you make a joke about how you're making that point. And so that kind of style of stuff can be pretty hard to kind of understand without kind of context. Because yeah, yeah, it really does look like I'm a very cringe Reddit moderator. I even look the part. Yes, I know how I look. I don't care. And yeah, so I don't necessarily blame people for thinking that, but there is substance behind a lot of the things that I say, and that's why I go on to more seriously talk about this kind of stuff with people like you.
Okay. Can you, so going back in time, what like led you to LSF in the first place? I know you're like a ex-Twitch employee. Was that your introduction to LSF?
Yeah, so I was one of the main engineers on Twitch Clips, which LSF is a subreddit, or was, for Twitch Clips back then. And so we, as a company, especially my team, were very kind of locked in and aware of this kind of subreddit and the effect that it had on kind of the platform. And it was like a third of our kind of clip viewership, or like half or something. And so it was kind of a big deal. And not only that, like people at Twitch watch kind of the platform as well. They're in kind of the space, and this subreddit was frankly causing a lot of problems for kind of the company. It was doing it in a bit of a diffuse way where you can't really kind of point to it, but anytime there was a controversy about a major streamer, the first place that it would go viral on was LSF. And so, I was noticing this, and I decided, like, okay, what can I do about this? So even at the company, I was not nearly as obsessed about the subreddit as I am now, but I was taking action related to the subreddit to see what I could do to kind of help things out. I actually even I tried to set up like Reddit AMAs with product managers and like the kind of like the Reddit mods of LSF back at the time. This is like back in, we're talking like 2019. None of these things kind of went through or anything, but yeah, I was working. I was one of the few people actually working in the company. I was at one point I was even like suggesting like counter strategies, like should we like DMCA them, should we sue them or whatever. And I was talking to executives and stuff about this company. I mean, it wasn't like every day at my job, but it's like once a month or something. I might kind of try something kind of cool like that. But yeah, so that's my experience from it at Twitch. And then after I left Twitch,
Can I ask about Twitch at the time? What was their feeling towards LSF? Because we've heard a lot of like conspiracy theories about how either that Twitch is running LSF or that their moderation browses LSF and decides based on LSF what to do? Do you have like any insight?
I mean, Twitch has never controlled it. Although, ironically, one of my goals initially, when I was much more kind of on the side of Twitch and streamers at the time, was to do kind of exactly something like that. It was to see what I could do. Because, like, look, I was drinking the Twitch Kool-Aid way back then. Of course, I care about kind of what the company thinks about, and I was one of the few people who's trying to do stuff about it. But yeah, so it was with the moderation stuff, though. It's not that they browse LSF. It's that if something goes viral on LSF, it'll get a ton of reports, and then it'll get escalated, and then somebody will look at it. And there probably was sometimes when, maybe there was a thing that might not have been banned for before that would have gone under the radar. And then just because of kind of the bad negative publicity, maybe they kind of like banned it because of that. But it's like very indirect. It's not like there's not like a team of people that's like obsessively browsing LSF and saying like ban this person, ban that person, ban whatever. It's just common standard response to public pressure.
Yeah. So it wasn't like it was regarded as just another social media that Twitch was monitoring.
I mean, it was, arguably the number one social media platform related to Twitch, I would say. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then you left Twitch. How did you, what was the road to getting into moderating LSF? First, you weren't like the top mod as far as I know, right?
No. Yeah, so I had some communication with the mods already. So I was kind of on good relation with these people. And so a couple months after I left, they just had applications up. And I put in just a lot of work on my application. So I spent about an hour writing an application, which is, I mean, it's not that long, it's just an hour. And then they came back to me and they were like, this is the best application that anybody has ever submitted to this mod team. You're definitely in. Because that's how, I mean, nobody applies or puts any effort into the stuff, like the slim pickings out there. And so, yeah, that's how I joined. And I just joined as kind of a regular mod on the team, just like anybody else.
Okay. And so there was like a big drama around, I think a year ago, maybe, or more now, that the mods were coordinating on Discord, but there was some disagreements and it led to you becoming the head mod. Do you think this drama has been part of why you now are taken out, or do you think it's unrelated?
Yes. No. So I'm starting to learn. I'm putting together some bits and pieces of some stuff. Apparently, the way some of this Reddit kind of moderation stuff works is that, or the code of conduct stuff works, is that they have a file on you. And so they have kind of like a list. They don't tell you about this. I wish they did. But they have like kind of like a list of kind of past things that a person has done, past violations. And, if you do too many things, eventually they come after you and they nuke you. And so that's kind of what happened with me, I think. They didn't give me much information, but, I'm surprised I survived some of the previous dramas that I had. And, even though I mean, honestly, this certain situation, this was, as dumb as it sounds, an honest mistake kind of on my part. I got kind of pulled along with this supposed scam along with everybody else because I trusted kind of all these streamers stupidly. And even though that was the case, it just kind of doesn't matter. Just probably because I was just on thin ice already. So that's my guess. But I can't ever know. You can never know.
Okay, so it's a bit like Twitch moderation where they might have it out for someone based on past behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think, coming back to like becoming the head moderator of LSF, what was your overall direction you wanted to take LSF? Because I think before you became head mod, it was kind of like, I think it was known as the OTK and Co subreddit. Basically, all the other streamers had been kind of discouraged from posting there, or their fan bases at least were.
Okay, so your question was, what was the direction that I was trying to take LSF?
Yeah.
So it has changed over time, I would say. So initially, I was like, this is a harassment subreddit. Let's see if we can chill on the harassment. I mean, basically taking the pro kind of streamer kind of side of things, where wait 1 second, I'm getting okay. So I was getting messages. So
No worries.
so Yeah, I was very much initially drinking kind of the Twitch Kool-Aid, and give me just 10 seconds. Okay, so that was my initial thoughts: is how can I stop all of these problems that the subreddit is giving kind of streamers and Twitch as a whole. This changed over time, where I was putting a lot of effort into this subreddit, so I started to have kind of like bigger ideas, and those were these subreddits have a lot of influence, they have a lot of eyeballs, a lot of views, and some people call it power. And my idea was, how do we leverage that in a more productive manner than just having it be kind of like a drama subreddit? So for kind of years, I was kind of the one constantly bringing up different ideas of things that kind of the subreddit could do. Like, could we make partnerships with companies? Could we do AMAs, contests, all sorts of things? And one of those things, I mean, I eventually did succeed on some of these projects, but most of them kind of got shut down by kind of the rest of the mod team because it was very bureaucratic and nobody wanted to do anything. But I did do some cool stuff. Like, I ended up doing like an AMA with the CEO of Twitch, where I went on his live stream and asked him questions from Reddit. So yeah.
Was the ideas you suggested and managed to implement, were most of them after you became subreddit head, or this is the whole history of you being a mod?
Sorry, so what was after I became a mod?
Were you trying to implement more of these ideas once you became head mod? Were you able to do more of them?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, because now I have borderline dictatorial kind of power. And so, I mean, part of that is kind of why we kind of got into this mess right now, which is that, I was taking more actions to have kind of more major projects. I'm trying to think of like stuff that we actually did recently, because there was a lot of stuff that like just fell through and failed. I guess we did do an AMA with another kind of small streaming platform called Moonbeam. I was going to like various gaming conventions and talking to companies, like gaming companies, to see like, hey, could you guys do an AMA on the platform? Could you, I don't know, post your content, get more gaming content on the subreddit? Could you do a giveaway to the users? Anything that might be fun that happened in a partnership. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm guessing that you wanted, or so the idea of my question was like, you wanted this the subreddit to move away, I guess, from the politics and the drama. Am I getting this correctly?
That was initially
once you became head mod, I mean.
So once I became head mod, there was I did some like snapback kind of a stuff where there was a drama where I removed some stuff related to kind of TwitchCon that I, really should not have at the time. It was like a very topical kind of drama related to like Erob and Darius fighting or something. And I was being kind of a lot too strict on kind of a lot of this drama stuff. And then people kind of eventually pulled me back from that. And then there's definitely like a big switch at that point where we then allowed a lot more drama after that. So there's a very noticeable time. So it wasn't like because I became top mod that kind of these changes kind of happened. It was just around that time when I became head mod. Ironically, we then switched to be like way more political drama and that kind of stuff. And I allowed a lot more stuff after that.
You don't think like it was the previous moderation that was trying to suppress the drama or the politics? I think from an outside perspective, at least, the politics were pretty suppressed before you took over.
Okay, yeah. So that was another big thing, is that politics was just straight up banned. Yeah. So that was, and then after I had gotten a lot of feedback and I added like kind of a bunch of new moderators to the team, then we made kind of this big major change, which is kind of allow more politics. And yeah, so.
I saw your video urging to Miskiff. You were basically urging him and other streamers to kind of boost their own clips, good clips from their streams. And you mentioned like that self-promotion is kind of legal now in LSF. Do you think this strategy like have you seen it work other places? How did you come up with that?
I have seen it worked, but it's not working for streamers right now because nobody's doing it. What it is working right now is basically anti-fans are doing this. So if you look at a lot of the drama posters, it is all the same people. So, same people are posting, have all the top posts. And my thought, and it's not that many people. my thoughts is, okay, if somebody did similar to what these existing kind of drama people are already doing, we could kind of replace a lot of that content. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody's tried it. I mean, maybe they are trying it and they're doing it secretly, because there has been accusations in the past that, like, I mean, I don't know, related to OTK or anything, that like our streamers trying to promote themselves on the subreddit. Okay, I think back in the day, OTK was doing a lot more clip farming. So maybe they weren't posting things directly, but they were very obviously borderline directing their audience to go to LSF, and they were kind of making things in clippable moments to be posted there. But that was like 2020. So yeah.
And I was going to ask about the backup site. That used to be run by the LSF team way back when there was another site. Then you guys switched to Azure, or not to Azure, to... Is it Azure?
Azuba or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Is that like an outside service?
Honestly, I don't know who these people are. So actually, there's a website, Livestreamfails.com, that was controlled by... it was this guy called Good Guy Dev, who also made Neat Clips. Do you ever remember Neat Clips? You're probably not as old as I am.
Vaguely, maybe.
Yeah, there was another. So, but like before Twitch had clips, there were other kind of clipping services.
Yeah, I remember.
He had built one of these, and then he also kind of ran our mirror site. All right, I think maybe I'm mixing up two people, but yeah, basically the point is that was a different guy, and he disappeared. I don't know where he is. I cannot contact him in any way. And then we got like a new guy who does it. And he's I don't know, he's a good developer. He writes kind of scripts and tools for us. I think because he gets the ad revenue. So he'll do whatever we want because he's getting all the money for it. So I don't care. I mean, I don't care. So yeah.
Okay, so it's like a third-party guy, but he runs him for his own benefit, the website.
Yep. But I mean, he puts in the work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care. So it's people freak out about the money stuff too much, and I mean that's like kind of deserved. It's like, okay, you're putting in the work, maybe you deserve the compensation or whatever, and as long as he's kind of working less, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so going into the drama, the current drama, how did the game show idea come to be with LSF? Who reached out to who? How did that come about?
So, I saw an announcement by Extra Emily about, I hate to throw people on the bus, but it's true. And I heard about a live streaming reality TV show, and it just seemed like kind of perfect content for the subreddit, because what are we about? We're about drama related to live streaming, and reality TV shows are about drama. That's just it's like the perfect kind of opportunity. And so I was like, okay, I just heard about this now. Nobody's talking about it. So I reached out immediately. I joined their Discord. I was like the sixth person to like join their Discord. I just messaged somebody on kind of the Discord kind of channel. I gave them kind of my pitch. Like, could we have your clips posted on the subreddit? Could we work together in some way? And they're one of the first people who actually agreed. So,
what were there like solid terms for the involvement with LSF? Like, did you have like a deal or something with them?
I mean, there was nobody was getting paid or anything. We made some like general agreements, like we just talked about how things kind of would be kind of like mutually kind of beneficial, and we kind of wrote out what we were kind of like planning on doing, but there wasn't like I don't think it's not like if somebody screwed up, they would have to like pay a fee or something or whatever. So yeah. It was basically pretty informal.
And would I'm guessing there wouldn't be any payment between LSF and that company?
No payment. No payment now.
Okay, and would there be any editorial like considerations between the company and LSF?
I remember even discussing this specifically, and so the idea was that like there'd be none of that. So they control the show, and then we control the subreddit, and we still get to moderate things and have kind of our own rules and Reddit rules and all that kind of stuff. We had a general agreement on like what we thought the competition would be. Like, okay, there'd be like a best clips contest, and then it'd say LSF on it, and then somebody would win a prize or something for kind of the best clip, and that was really it. That was the only kind of editorial quote kind of thing we decided on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when did you think that something was going wrong with this whole idea? When did doubt start to appear for you?
I would say it was when the streamers started doing stuff. This may be a bad habit, but I do not really listen to a lot of the negativity that is in kind of the comment section of kind of Reddit, because it's no matter whether something's a good idea or a bad idea, people are always negative. So I didn't pay attention to them, but I was worried about kind of the streamers because, I even if I didn't know if this was kind of a scam or not, if somebody dropped out, that's a kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, and now it's going to be dead anyway. So even the perception of a scam is an issue.
Okay, and to your knowing what you know now, to your best ability, do you believe this was like not a real thing, that people were just
It's okay. Here is my best guess as to what happened, because I was able to find out one confirmed lie that they did. And that is they were going around telling people that they had an Amazon kind of Prime deal. And then in a comment to me, because I was like, okay, when everybody was yelling scam, my immediate thought was like, okay, that's fine. We can just solve this by just telling people that it's an Amazon Prime TV show. Because that would solve that would put everybody's kind of concerns to rest, right? They told me that I could not do that because technically the deal had not been signed yet. And so if they were misrepresenting that to everybody, that is a lie. Now there's a different question here, which is, was that completely made up? Or, maybe they really were in talks with Amazon Prime. But that is also a big range, because there's, one, inch away from, signing the paper that has the agreed deal. And then there's, we talked to somebody, one time and we got his email address, and yeah, sure, well, we're definitely get a deal. And so I have I don't, it just feels to me like, it feels like unlikely that they would just completely lie about something like we're talking to Amazon Prime, especially if there's like I'm saying, like, I think a real possibility is that they were doing a fake it till they'll make it kind of a thing. Imagine if they did get all of this publicity and all these streamers on board. Maybe they could have leveraged that in order to really get a deal from Amazon Prime, and then then things just kind of fell through. But who really knows? Because they have dropped off the map, and those are my theories.
Were any of the people you communicated with, or that were in that Discord or in other communication, were any of them like industry people that the talent agencies would have known, or you would have known, or the streamers would have known?
It was a registered business in Canada, so I mean, it was a real business. I looked it up. It was just called like $1 Million Stream or something. I don't know. I mean, I found one guy on LinkedIn and his website, but and he seemed like a real person, I guess. But
did he seem to have like experience in producing shows before, or?
No, he did not. He had experience in making games.
Okay, I'm not saying that like that's a definitive thing, but I'm just interested in if how they would get past like the talent agencies, because they would also have to be doing this sort of work that you're doing, and just like offering money, I guess, works with Mythic.
Yeah.
Do you have like okay, so regarding the tickets, was the paying with tickets for extra chances to meet the streamer, to play with the streamer, was that something you knew before they announced it?
I did. It was on the website. It seemed legal to me, because I know the way that's basically a sweepstake, which is all you have to do is offer somebody a way to kind of join it for free, and you could do that. I guess you could say it's bad form to offer additional entries for money, but I don't think that's illegal. But yeah,
I think I don't think it's illegal either. I think it kind of gets like ethically a bit hairy, because people would be I mean, people would be paying to like just to have a chance to meet their favorite streamer, so it would become kind of like an Euler war, maybe.
And you know, maybe that was how they were expecting to to make the money. I mean, another possibility is so they claimed that they were getting the money from investors, and you know, another real outcome here is maybe users weren't being scammed, maybe investors were being scammed, maybe it was just a bad idea, and they had like, you know, tricked some investor into like basically thinking that live streamers were more valuable than they actually are. Because, you know, if somebody does like some basic math calculations, you could just say like, oh, this streamer has 100,000 viewers, so if they each spend $10, that's $1 million. Somebody could do something like that, right? That's a guess.
What do you think about like the comparison this show has been getting with like the Mr. Beast show that Charlie's videos have at least proposed, that this deal seemed so out of the realm of being normal that anyone who is in the space should have known that it's fishy?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean scam. It just means it could be a bad investment. So if you want to call it cope or not, is that, I mean, Amazon Prime has burned a lot of money on a lot of shows, and I'm not sure if they have all succeeded. Additionally, maybe it's just my environment of living in kind of San Francisco. I've seen people get paid like, you know, like $10 million on something for an investment when they just have no product. So, and I mean like absolutely nothing. Somebody has like nothing and they trick a bunch of investors into getting into, you know, YC and get like 10 mil. So 20 million, you know, with real celebrities on board and, you know, maybe Amazon Prime, that didn't seem completely absurd to me compared to the stuff that I'm around.
I see. You wouldn't probably have known this. So in the video, Charlie said that like the streamers were offered about $3,000 or something to promote this, and for participating they would have like the chance to win part of the prize. And I just found that really really strange that for a show that's worth $20 million at the minimum, that's only the prize pool, so the production is probably just as much, that the streamers would be taking a deal for only $3K.
I did not have access to those contracts at the time. So that was the agencies and the streamers had it.
Okay. And after things started to unravel, after Extra Emily came out with her stream, how did things progress behind the scenes?
Yeah, so at the time, I was still hoping that these streamers would have a little bit more backbone, shall we say. It was a little funny to me just how quickly things collapsed with no public information about the situation and no explanation. And so, right when the Extra Emily thing happened, I messaged kind of the organizers about it, and they said, no, we're going to push past it. This is still going on, and we're definitely going to still, have this. And I was thinking that, Mythic Talent or the streamers would come out with some information literally within like 4 or 5 hours. But they didn't. So I still don't even know. I just wish somebody would say something. It's like, if there is information behind the scenes. Okay, so I made this argument in my video, and it sounds like cope, but I have not seen proved definitive evidence of fraudulent behavior. Just because something is a red flag, that is not the same as like something that would hold up in court over this stuff. And it's not that I don't think it's possible. It's just I want to see that. That way we can know what happened. That way we can know what the actual scam was, how they did it, how they tricked everybody. And I'm just a little bit annoyed that we don't have that information out yet. And then what I was saying, and so they told me it was gonna keep going, and then I waited another couple hours, and then MoistCr1tikal had a video, and then they reached out and said like 5 streamers just dropped out immediately, and so it's like, okay, I guess that's it. And so that was the reason why it got canceled. They did not admit it to me in DMs like, yes, this is a fraud. We are canceling it because of the fraud. No, they canceled it because 5 streamers dropped out.
Mm-hmm. Would the same thing have happened, for instance, if let's say it's not LSF, but for a subreddit maybe that is about hardware tools or something, like tools for home improvement, and they promote like a Kickstarter event, and the Kickstarter event doesn't deliver. Maybe do you think like people sometimes call Kickstarters that don't deliver scams, but if it's not proven to be intentional, would Reddit take action?
Yeah, that's a good question. What even is a scam, and what does that mean? So this is kind of like why I'm asking, like what's the definitive proof here? Because like I want that to go to Reddit, right? Because maybe that'll get me back in the mod team. Probably not though, because this is a little bit annoying that somebody can just go into a subreddit, yell scam, and then no proved evidence yet. Now you're kind of punished for it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just bending to public outcry, right? That's just the reality of the situation, is that companies just bend to public outcry.
But okay, so the idea behind the question is like, do you think that the reason is because people think it's like intentional scam, or just not delivering on something you promise users as a mod is against Reddit's rules?
I think they think it's like a deliberate scam. I think that's kind of the claim. I mean, they were not very specific on the thing. They just said fraudulent something or whatever. Yeah.
What about like the comments from the thread? People are saying that many comments got deleted. What was the rationale behind that?
So a lot of the comments were just like accusing me of kind of getting paid kind of money, which is just, I mean, it's not true. So I don't think there should be anything wrong with me deleting things that are provably untrue, that I know is untrue. There was vague claims where people just yelled scam. I felt like that was kind of unproductive stuff, but I did leave up a lot of comments that were kind of discussing like, okay, where did they get the money? I was answering questions in the thread. I thought that would help me, okay, I could give my thoughts on the situation. That was actually used against me in kind of like the Reddit moderation thing. That was used as evidence that I knew things were a scam because I was responding to comments in the kind of the comment section. And so, yeah, I mean, that was kind of my rationale. And I was just thinking like, okay, I'll wait a couple hours. I don't want to be like the one that kills like a real project because a couple of people were like negative in a thread. I want to wait for the evidence to come out, and then yeah, if it's scam or whatever, then we'll make a thread and talk about that. So,
you after that you deleted the whole thread, right, with all the comments? Am I wrong?
Yep, I took it down afterwards. After somebody said that the thing was being shut down, I just kind of deleted it and deleted kind of my comments as well.
Do you know if you said that, I think in your video, that part of the reason why Reddit took you down was in part because of the comments and the thread being removed?
So I got the Reddit warning before I took down the thread. So I got the Reddit warning at like hour 16, and then I removed the thread at like hour 24.
Let's see. I have a bunch of written down things, so just going through that.
Give me 30 seconds to say it.
Okay. Chat, if you have any questions as well, I could ask. Feel free. We might also take callers if he's... Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Are you back?
Yep.
Okay. 1 second. A common complaint, at least from the Hasan or Snark circles, is that LSF was doing Destiny's bidding while you were head mod. I don't really believe that because of how a lot of threads got deleted during the Hasan dog drama, but what is your opinion of these insinuations?
I mean, let me just say, arguably, I was kind of one of the moderators on the team, kind of like protecting Hasan more than other moderators. The reason is not necessarily because I really care that much about Hasan. It's because for a while I thought a lot of, even still now, that a lot of the political drama is kind of pretty boring and repetitive. So I've been kind of looking at ways of, reducing that without necessarily kind of banning all of it. But yeah, like sometimes, when he was in a huge drama and we had 20 threads about it, I might delete a couple, so we only have 15 or something. And I was the one doing most of the moderator actions for a year on the subreddit. So yeah, a lot of those threads were removed by me. So yeah, I mean that's kind of my general thoughts on that. Is I don't know, look at the actions.
Do you think I know there's a rule to not sensationalize titles, but I think that rule kind of got maybe too ridiculous in the past few months, to the point where people were posting "a man does thing" type titles. Do you not see a problem with very like vague titles like that only being made just to go around this rule?
Yeah. Because they would have titles that did not have the name of a streamer in it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have the name of the streamer. They wouldn't have like what he's doing. Even they would have somebody does something literally or something like that.
I mean that was an unfortunate side effect of kind of my actions, I guess. Because then people started to get around the rule so that it wasn't kind of noticed as much, and so I mean I think that did harm the server a bit. But I mean what can you do? Yeah.
Okay, I have a question from chat. Will you be releasing the logs of talking with those people? That was asked in Kick chat. I don't expect it like that, but
probably not. I mean I don't want to. They have a good enough reason to be mad at me already. Like unironically, I was wondering at one point, like, are they going to come after me for this? I mean, there was a post on Reddit, and then their thing shut down in 24 hours right after my post. Like, imagine if it was real. Like, I would actually be in like real serious legal trouble, right? Maybe. But so I'm not gonna be necessarily related.
Did you sign any sort of NDA? I'm guessing not, because you talked about.
I did not. No, I did not sign an NDA saying that I can't talk about it. No.
Okay. What do you say about, like, do you know, is there any evidence of anyone paying money on that website or getting refunded?
Yes, people did buy kind of some of the tickets, and I got told that everybody was refunded, and there were reports of people being refunded. Yes, there's not been any reports yet of somebody losing their money.
So you've had like people tell you from the company that those things happened, and from outside.
Yeah. The company said they refunded everybody, and then I've seen outside comments saying that they got refunded.
Okay. Do you have any idea about how much revenue we're talking about here, or no idea?
I have no clue. I honestly, it can't be that much because it was up for like 24 hours and not a lot of publicity. So, but I mean, I guess maybe there's Oilers, so who knows?
Okay. Another question I got from chat is, can you ask him why users were banned from LSF for just posting on different subreddits?
They're probably referring to a lot of harassment that was done both on the subreddit and kind of directly on me. Like if people are like going out and like targeting me, or the subreddit or the mod team or brigading or whatever, I'll go ban kind of some of those people, right? And that is allowed. If you're doing like disgusting nonsense elsewhere, we can do something about it. Just because you didn't necessarily post an exact comment on my subreddit, sorry, that doesn't matter. We're allowed to do that.
Okay, so they were from like communities that were attacking LSF specifically?
There was like some harassment threads, right?
Okay.
Where I'm talking about like things that called me out by my real name. I attacked other moderators as well as the subreddit. It's like actual, I would call it like actual real harassment. And I do not know. I've done reports to Reddit about kind of this stuff, and they don't do anything. And I'm like a little bit disgusted that they do not take any action on like pretty serious harassment on the website. So I took things into my my own hands and made sure at least that kind of these people couldn't go after me on kind of the subreddit that I'm on.
And there hasn't been like bans for any political, like if someone, because some people get banned, for instance, from us because they post on Asmongold subreddit or stuff like that. LSF hasn't done that before, I'm guessing.
No, I'm not like banned like Hasan posters or anything, or Asmongold posters. It was mostly people in kind of harassment threads, right? So but that is you could say that's from a subreddit, right? I guess if somebody's posting in a harassment thread.
How do you think another question I got is, how do you think like the subreddit will look after you if you don't manage to come back? Who do you think will take over? What kind of direction do you think they'll take?
Yeah, so the entire rest of the mod team is still there, and these are people who, I worked with for a while, who I, trust kind of their kind of judgment, and yeah, and even a lot of the stuff that I did, even with this kind of thing, they, I don't want to throw them under the bus because I was kind of the one leading the charge in this initiative. I was the one kind of giving them details, but yeah, they did agree with me on kind of a lot of stuff that I did on the subreddit, and so I'm, confident that they will do well on the kind of subs forward. There might be some like moderate changes because we're kind of recruiting kind of new moderators for the subreddit, and especially when you have kind of a big kind of top mod leave, that is the opportunity to take more significant kind of reworks and decisions that you might not have otherwise done so. But it's not gonna like we're gonna see things completely change overnight. It's just people are gonna try, and like people are gonna try stuff out. They're gonna do something, reverse it, try something else, that kind of stuff. That's kind of very vague. So
do you think
don't expect things just break just because I'm gone.
The there's like a post up that is looking for new moderators. Is that looking for a new top moderator or just for extra moderators?
No, yeah, you're not voting the top moderator. So there is another moderator on kind of the team who's now the top one, who was somebody who's been on the mod team actually for like 3 years.
Reddit isn't gonna replace them.
Yeah, they haven't done anything really controversial. I've been the one kind of taking it. But yeah, I do think that they'll do a good job.
Okay, so I my first idea was that Reddit was gonna take over the subreddit and choose like an outside mod to come in. So this is not happening.
It is not. Yeah, the reason being that a lot of these actions were very directly on my account, and nobody else is technically liable. Because I mean, they can't really get caught, right? Even if somebody said something was a good idea, well, they didn't do it. I was the one who did it, and so yeah. Also, like I was, kind of on my last legs anyway. I had been through multiple mod drivers before. My time was probably up eventually.
Mm-hmm. Is it for big subreddits? Have you heard of people getting like taken down by Reddit like this, or was this unprecedented for Reddit in recently?
It is fairly rare. You have to, screw up pretty badly, or you at least have to screw up. I think that they're very bureaucratic. So I think they have a couple things that are like hardline rules, and then you're able to do whatever you want outside of that, right? Like how you moderate, you're never going to get in trouble with that. And so, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it has happened before. This is probably one of the more high profile ones in a while, especially since I made a funny YouTube video about it. So yeah.
What was, you said that you got like a warning when the thread was still up. What was the communication with Reddit been since like you posted the thread and you got that warning? What happened after that?
I got, the warning. I said, I responded to it by saying like, hey, we did not get paid any money at all for this. And then they responded to me saying, this isn't about that. This is about kind of promoting a scam, not even about, people financially benefiting from it. It's just like you promoted something fraudulent at all. What kind of context can you give? I gave a lot of kind of what my thoughts that I talked about now. And yeah, and then the next day I just removed it kind of with no kind of information.
Okay, so they didn't respond to your information you gave?
Yeah, no. Not yet. Maybe let's do the video though. Yeah. I sent if you're in San Francisco, you can run into cool people, dude. I got Spez's contact info. Oh, like that's not a joke. When I describe my video as like a video to Spez, it was because I have, I made the video directed to him. I got his contact info, and so we'll see what he says. Probably not. He'll probably think that I'm crazy, but that's okay. It's fun.
Do you think you would? I guess in hindsight, like with what's happened in the past since you posted that video, do you think it would have been more strategic, or I don't know, more successful if you like privately sent it through like some kind of official or semi-official channel to Reddit and not publicly? Or
I don't know what I could possibly say is the problem. And so because there's so much context, and like are they gonna believe me, or like does it just not matter because a bunch of people yelled scam? And so my only play is honestly like yeah, they're not gonna reinstate me. I don't think so. This play was more about problems at Reddit that I want to be solved, because I do think that there's very serious issues with kind of the company not supporting moderators. And, I really was one of their more passionate moderators trying to take advantage of all their opportunities, and I kind of got shut down every step of the way. And so I actually care a lot more about that stuff and how do we improve Reddit and kind of their partner program as a whole than I do about getting control of a subreddit, which is already run by people who I agree with and I'm kind of confident in. So.
And you think like publicly asking for these changes is more effective than reaching out, I don't know, to Spez or to any like higher ups in Reddit?
Yeah, absolutely. Because now they have to look at it. And this is like a bombastic, crazy thing that a lot of people are giving kind of their opinion on. And it might sound crazy to some of the influencers who are seeing it, but I am describing real problems at the company that they know about that I'm kind of referencing. And so I think there will be at least kind of smart people will look at this as kind of like a way to kind of fix the company. So
okay. So one of the things you kind of like present in the video is that, or at least my interpretation is that you kind of want the mods for Reddit to be kind of like what streamers are for Twitch in terms of like the way they engage with each other. Am I thinking in the right direction with that?
Yeah, maybe influencer isn't the right word. I would more say like kind of like a professional actual community manager, like more than just freaking randos. I guess the reason why I chose influencer is because the analogy of like a talent agency for subreddits kind of makes a lot of sense, where I'm trying to describe how subreddit moderators should be about having kind of the big ideas where, yeah, they can just be a dumb streamer or a dumb influencer. Because the influencers, they don't know how the business stuff works, but that's not their job. And then you have kind of like the adults in the room giving them kind of the resources and pipelines to make their kind of cool stuff, their content brain kind of happen. But yeah, influencers is exactly what I'm kind of talking about. So no.
Yeah, I kind of my contention with that idea was at least that I think the content is the posters and the commenters mainly, while the moderators are more like a support role. They're like a really important role, of course, for Reddit, but I think the comparison with Twitch, on Twitch, on YouTube, like the content creators are the content, so their relationship is like not like a moderator relationship.
Yeah, but how do you get the posters? Because there are a lot of things moderators can do to control that. I mean, how do you know how many posters on LSF were me? You don't. Because I've got access to the back end. I can post an alt and approve whatever kind of thing I want. I didn't actually do that. I did this for a lot of like gaming news stuff. So I would like kind of post like gaming news and kind of like an alt or something to kind of see how it kind of worked. But yeah. So what I'm saying is like you can do a lot as a moderator to. I guess it's like one level of indirection because you're not the one posting the content, you're controlling the people who post the content. But I do still think that you have this kind of control.
So what do you think about like wouldn't a better analogy for moderators be like something like gig work? Because I understand that Reddit can't afford maybe to have like everyone working like normal work hours, or I don't know how it's in the US, like full-time employment, to offer full-time employment for moderators, but they can probably like have a system like Uber or other gig work type sites. Would that also be something that would help?
It's a horrible analogy. The reason is because, okay, I'll give you back in a second. So moderators on subreddits should not think of themselves as internet janitors or gig workers, because the actual moderation part of moderation is, I mean, this is like the boring part that nobody wants to do, that when you're actually community managers, you have directional control over the subreddit. I mean, that is the power that you have, even if nobody kind of uses it that way, even if nobody has, a lot of people don't have this thought, or they kind of complain about it. So a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, I wish we could do all this cool stuff, but I'm stuck doing kind of all this kind of moderation work. I wish we could, do this a little bit kind of differently. But yeah, I guess maybe you could replace moderators doing the moderation with just like, paid people, and then you could have like higher level paid, like community managers doing kind of the cool stuff.
Yeah, because from my point of view, Reddit would if Reddit is incentivizing something, it should probably be like the content, and then the people who moderate should be like kind of like support staff for Reddit. So I don't like the comparison with Twitch and content creators is that content creators make like relationships with third parties. I don't know how Reddit benefits from the mods making relationships with third parties and like doing brand deals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess like who is the, but they're the ones in control of the community, right? So like they have the platform, just like streamers control Discord, or like streamers control their stream.
Yeah, but people go to subreddits for like the comments and the posts, and even the platform is the subreddit, but the content isn't like the subreddit, if I can say that.
Yeah, but the content is controlled by the moderator, like not directly, but you could control it. Like you like the rules that you do of what's allowed and what's not allowed significantly changes what people post and why. Here's an example you could give is there's one thing where we changed where we now allow direct clip uploads instead of having to link to kind of like an off-platform site. That had a very noticeable effect on kind of like the content that was on the subreddit, just because people could upload clips in like a different way. It's not exactly like analogous to them being the streamer, but it's almost like you're a manager of streamers or something, or like you're their content. Yeah, okay, you're like the content director or like the writer behind the scenes of the show. And so yeah, it's not you making the jokes, but you're writing the jokes for the community.
Okay, but like
we're not like analogies.
what I'm trying to say is like when streamers get like brand deals and like ad sponsorships at Twitch, Twitch benefits when they facilitate that. They benefit directly monetarily from that, right? How would you be looking for a type of system like that as well for moderators, where you split the revenue with Reddit for these things?
No, not necessarily revenue, but I mean, you get okay. Let's say you're Reddit, the company. Why do people go to Reddit? Well, they go there for the content. So just like people go to Twitch for the content. And now the question is, would Twitch ever do things to get more content on the platform, or like it's not about the ad revenue. It's about more views, more relevance, more that stuff, as opposed to, and then like, yeah, you monetize it via ads later. But this partnership, it's like a content partnership. It's not an ad partnership. That's kind of done in like a different way.
Okay, so I don't quite understand like how would what is the like the way in which the things you're proposing would help Reddit to get more.
I mean, you could just look at the partnerships that already exist. How about that? So you'll have the NFL partners with the NFL subreddit, and they will bring exclusive content to the moderators. They'll do giveaways. They'll do, this is a silly example, but like there was like Reddit NFTs or something, and there was like specific NFTs given to moderators by kind of the NFL or something. I mean, AMAs used to be like a really big thing a while ago on Reddit. That was like the cool shit. And yeah, somebody has to do the work to bring the AMAs and the content to the subreddit moderators. You could, I mean, take World of Warcraft. They partner with the World of Warcraft subreddit, and maybe they'll give out game keys or something, or they'll do exclusive content where they talk about a new update that's out there. Like Reddit should be the place where all of these conversations happen. This is like the best community platform on the internet, and it's way better than kind of like Twitter or whatever.
Okay, I understand you better now. I probably agree with this. I just from the way the video, or maybe I didn't correctly identify it, but to me it sounded like kind of like what Twitch is doing with brand deals, where you click a button and depending how many people see the ad, like the moderator will get paid or something like that.
No. Yeah, I'm just talking about content.
Yeah, I understand. So like facilitating content relationships between relevant parties with the subreddits.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Does anyone have questions from chat? I think a question like that came up often previously was like about the Dogtober drama. There was like a lot of clips deleted, and you said that in another answer that you tried to delete when too many clips were up. You would try to cull some of them.
Yeah, look, it was funny memes, but it was taken over the subreddit, and like, yeah, moderators. It's not just about did you break this one rule or did you not. We are, content curators, and part of that is when a bunch of people are complaining about a certain type of content, we might kind of like pull it back just a little bit. We still allowed tons of content about this one topic, but we just have discussions all the time about like, is this too much? Is this not enough? Are we, censoring content that people do want? And you can agree or disagree, but we are. It's not just about the upvotes, dude. Okay, it's not just about that. And if it was, there might be kind of a lot worse content on the site.
Do you think like you strayed too far into like some threads I noticed that were gaining a lot of traction? I think even the first ones about like the dog shocking were taken down after they had tens of thousands of upvotes.
So that's okay. That at the beginning there were disagreements on the veracity of kind of the claims, and there was kind of discussion about that. I think somebody did end up removing that, but then we allowed kind of a bunch of stuff kind of later. I mean, what I will say is that a lot of the stuff is very dynamic kind of situations with changing facts, and so like we don't want to promote something that's like completely false, and sometimes we might make the decision or suppress it for a little bit too early, but then we'll fix it and correct it later. So you could disagree with that, but that was the kind of thing is people were like, is this true, is this not true? I don't know.
Is it still not possible to change a title of a post after it's been posted on Reddit?
You can't, no.
Only admins can do something like that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. Like, if it was possible to do that, it would be so much easier to leave up kind of content, because often the issue might be like one or two words in a title that vastly kind of changes the meaning of it. And if we can change this a little bit, put a little bit of doubt or correction to it or whatever, maybe we would allow the content. But it's hard. It's like, what if there is a lie or something that's on the subreddit that's been like up for 8 hours? Like, do you remove it now, or do you put out a correction, or like it's, who knows? There's not a right or wrong answer here.
Yeah, I think it went like too much in the other direction. I mentioned like the titles, nonsense titles that came out of it, but I can see the other side as well. And the question I got is, what do you think about like the efforts of trying to remain neutral? Do you think they were worth it in the end, considering that basically you're now seen as like or at least you get painted as like a DGG shield?
Well, but DDG hates me too, right? So I think it's, I guess I'm doing something right if everybody thinks I'm doing something wrong. I mean, I don't know. I think there is some value in kind of what you're talking about, but people are going to say whatever they want to say, kind of no matter what. So, I mean, forget about DGG, because like maybe you could argue, that's, I'm definitely a lot more associated with DGG than I am with any other community. But let's talk about like the accusations of like bias, like in Miskif's favor or something, right? So there was accusations and rumors for like years that were on kind of Miskif's side when like we destroyed his career twice, right? Like that is very directly. A lot of the reasons why Miskif is where he is today is because of posts that went viral on Livestreamfail and kind of all the negative publicity that is. And I got no real issue with him kind of now, but it's like a little absurd, kind of the conspiracies that people kind of like put in their mind here, right?
What do you think about, or can you? I guess maybe you still don't want to talk about this, but like streamers, you mentioned streamers that were contacting LSF mods, begging them to remove stuff or to change stuff. I don't know. Can you go more in detail, or do you prefer not to?
Yeah, I mean, all of the relevant stuff I think has been leaked so far. And so I'm sure you've seen some of the Hasan leaks from years ago. The other most viral ones were the Miskif leaks from years ago, was like the NMP kind of one. I mean, my high level opinion on that is, I think I am more sympathetic to, even though I think that they might be wrong, I'm more sympathetic to kind of their actions than most. The mod team got like really mad actually whenever they were kind of screaming at us. But this is these people's lives and careers, and of course, when they see their kind of career flashing before their eyes, they're gonna flail and do whatever they can to not be destroyed. So yeah, I don't know.
Were there any particularly egregious examples where they would maybe threaten you or something? I think an MP said something threatening about maybe lawsuit or something. I don't remember quite.
Yeah. This was in like 2020 or something, or 2021. Yeah, it was 2021. It was right before I became a mod. And I don't even know what the drama was about. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, he said something like, "I've got some FBI friends or something." It was like my uncle works at Nintendo tier level of like threat here. All right. But here's the thing. The mod team freaked the hell out because of that one comment. I think half the mod team quit over those statements.
Wow.
There's another mod run before me, and it's like, chill. Like, dude, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just I just don't really I'm not really afraid of influencers anymore because I've seen it on the other side. But
was that like the biggest like the biggest example of this? Like no.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Causing half the mod team to leave over a silly my dad works in a death threat.
Did you? I'm guessing that it probably happened, but did people reach out like offering money or offering favors, streamers or companies to like editorialize content or whatever on the subreddit?
No, nothing like that. I'm trying to think. Like I vaguely remember that like there have been like one or two like scam kind of things that got like sent to us like in mod mail. Every now and then it happens. Like you post this thing about our gamer drink we're having, but it's like we're literally talking about like 2 or 3 times, and then it's just like we would click the spam button and ignore it. But no actual like real serious kind of a thing. Surprisingly, yeah.
And no streamers like offering either.
Nope. Mostly just them being big babies. It's the answer.
Complaining. Okay. Let's see. So about the way that people have been covering, which have you seen any of you've seen like the MoistCr1tikal videos, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
And have you watched like Hasan or Asmongold maybe?
On what?
Today, like reacting to your video.
Oh, I haven't looked at any of that stuff. How was it? I watched like one person, but not those guys.
Okay, so MoistCr1tikal, do you have like comments about the way he covered it or something? Yeah.
What I'm bothered by is just I wish people would do some like real journalism, right? Like it's just because like there really is an interesting story here of how did this scam happen, what was it, like what was the things going on here, and that's the thing that I care about, not somebody just kind of like waving their hands or something and saying kind of the popular most voted kind of like Reddit comment. And so it's like, dude, I didn't like learn anything. I just want to learn something. I want to watch a video and like I learned this new actual material fact about the situation that wasn't kind of public. Yeah. I get what he does it though, right? I mean, maybe he can't like the stuff that I'm talking about could take days, weeks, right? So
yeah.
Okay, and then I guess one more thing that I am bothered is like it's like such the binary kind of thinking that some of these things have. Like I don't know. It's like there is like I really want to think of this. Like, is there a world where they actually did convince Amazon Prime to support this? I don't actually know. It's like might seem obviously not in retrospect, but like, did you do it? Like what are their budgets? What is the budget of an Amazon Prime TV show? I just realized I have no idea what that is. So
yeah. So in your video you proposed like the alliance subreddit that you would try to organize something like the things you're proposing to Reddit to the community to organize it.
Yep.
Can you give like a overview? What is your goal with that?
Yeah, the goal is do the stuff I've already been doing, which is kind of reach out to kind of companies to establish partnerships, to do AMAs are kind of exclusive content on subreddits, except in this time instead of doing it for LSF, I would do it for kind of like Reddit kind of gaming communities as a whole. And so it would just be pooling of efforts of initially just kind of like contact info and communications, so that it's kind of like a middle maker, a matchmaker, to see kind of what can happen. So no.
Okay, so I'm guessing you're looking for like subreddits who would be interested in participating in this.
Yeah, probably mostly gaming subreddits. I'll probably end up reaching out to people individually on this kind of stuff. Yeah, guys, I think you will find that people, when you talk to them individually, they understand kind of these. They're a lot more receptive to these kind of a pitch, especially since this is like a thing where I'm just trying to bring people value. Like, if I'm, talking to, the Helldivers company, they could connect with the Helldivers subreddit, or if you bring value to somebody, you say like, I've got these 3 companies that are interested in subreddits. Here's this for free. You figure it out. Like, people like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I got a question about like, have you followed like the FoodShops drama with DGG?
I don't. She's like, there's like so much FoodShops drama. Apparently, there's like archives. There's like whole playlists of like food shop drama on various different things, which I didn't even know about. It's like because people that had attacked me for, I like went on our stream and I kind of give the same pitch that I do to every streamer, which is like, hey, you're doing cool content, maybe post a clip or two to LSF or something. And I got like in trouble on Kiwi Farms for this. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't personally have anything wrong with food shops. I guess I know she's in big fights with other people, and I can understand why those fights happen. But at the end of the day, that's other people's fights, not mine.
Okay, so I'm asking because like you got brought up in that the big schizo document, and
yeah, I don't know how I'm
with the allegation that basically you were going to be boosting her and artificially trying to make her like the drama czar on LSF. How do you respond to this?
Sure. So I mean, I did kind of the same thing that I did in my video, and I went on a stream, put on a bit of a show, but think about it this way: I can't boost somebody. Like, it doesn't make any sense. What I can do is somebody can make clips and sell promo and post to the subreddit. I can't like give it more upvotes or anything, or make it go viral. And live or die, it'd be. I mean, honestly, I just heard about this person because I was seeing her do some kind of cool content, drama content, which does well on LSF. So my immediate thoughts was like, hey, new cool creator in kind of like the DGG space doing drama. Hey, maybe that person could go viral on LSF. And that was kind of really the end of it.
Did you think about reaching out to? Did you reach out to other content creators, like drama content creators, or was it just something you brainstormed for FoodShops?
I reached out to a couple people at random. I mean, initially, I even like gave this pitch to JSTLK like a year ago or something.
Oh shit!
He didn't want to do it either. Well, yeah, back then he was doing drama content then too. I mean, it's I just kind of do the stuff on the fly, kind of on a whim.
Okay, I would think that maybe a better target would have been like the more established commentary guys, like Turkey Tom or MoistCr1tikal. They also stream regularly.
Well, here's my thinking on that. Actually, this is why, because I made a video directed to Miskiff, kind of making the same pitch. My thoughts on this is, it's a lesson I learned in economics, which is buy low, sell high. So, and that is, you got to find the people who are low enough that they'll give you kind of the time of day, but have the potential to kind of like grow to kind of something big. That's kind of why, Miskiff's like a funny example because he's the lowest he's ever been, but he just moved over to Kick, so he actually could kind of blow up pretty soon. Who knows? And so that's why I can't just like go to Asmongold or something and say like, talk to me, bro. It's like, no, they're not gonna give me the time of day. So no.
I see. On a more general overview, what do you think about like Reddit's relationship with moderators especially after like the API crisis that was, I think, 2 years ago maybe, when a lot of moderators protested? There were huge blackouts on Reddit, but in the end, I think most of them folded after Reddit threatened to replace them.
Yeah, I mean, things are very tense. Or they have always been tense. But like, it's funny because I actually agree with Reddit on a lot of this stuff. This actually goes into exactly the things I'm complaining about. There was a viral thing that Spez had said where he called Reddit moderators landed gentry. You hear about this?
Yeah.
And that basically means what he meant was whoever is at the top of the kind of moderator list, who basically has dictatorial control, they were just the person there the longest. It's not meritocratic. It's not, these people are not trained. They could be unqualified. They could be somebody like me. And he's exactly right on that. Like, this platform, $50 billion platform, is run by an army of unqualified nobodies. And yeah, and so, okay, back to the thing you're talking about. Yeah, there was a lot of people who were kind of threatened to get kicked off of mod teams. A lot of people did, and a lot of people just left, and now we're left with even less kind of mods kind of on the whole platform. And I don't think it's really ever recovered. I think they had a good business reasons for it. I think that, I don't know, they were losing hundreds of millions of dollars or something on this like API stuff, and so maybe they just had to do it. But I do wish there was more people who cared about Reddit. So, and we lost a lot of good people, I think.
There were
a lot of terminally online people, maybe not good people.
There were a lot of promises during that time that because I think the reason moderators, a lot of them protested, was because they would get rid of tools that moderators used. Did Reddit actually deliver on their promises to deliver on tools for moderators that would replace the old ones or make even better ones, or was that like a lie?
No, I mean, Reddit's always coming out with new stuff. They have like a whole developer platform now where you can kind of like make an app that runs right on Reddit. Actually, it's very cool. You can play Flappy Bird on Reddit, and so I think they have, but I don't know if anybody. It's the same problem, which is I don't know if anybody cares or takes advantage of this or knows about these things. Maybe they're not informed. Maybe people are actually okay. There are some tools that I use that are like very, very useful. Like there's like a button that like deletes all comments in the thread, and so I don't know. But I also feel like I don't know if people ever cared about this stuff in the first place. It just felt like a rallying cry that people just kind of got on a bandwagon for, and I'm not sure how much this issue directly affected people, if not for the outcry.
Okay, and do you think? Okay, I just like my impression is that Reddit has a really toxic relationship with moderators, and that got even worse with around that time. So I'm not sure how much your appeal to Spez will work out in this climate.
Well, I mean, if anything, it should make them even more aware of the problem, like a toxic relationship. Yeah, between these kind of unqualified nobodies and the company, like, dude, they need to do something. Actually, they are doing one good change that's going to come out pretty soon, which is they're putting a max limit on power mods. So now you can only be a moderator of up to 5 kind of top subreddits. And yeah, I think that basically, I think the power of these subreddits kind of need to be spread out and needs to be diversified.
Has there been like any talks behind the scenes about Reddit and AI? Because a lot of like since Reddit went public, etc., a lot of the talk about Reddit has been around AI. Have they been has that reached absolutely. Moderators in some way?
It has not reached moderators, but I do know some of these conversations because I've talked to some of these AI companies who are talking to Reddit. Mostly what Reddit is doing with AI is related to ads, actually. Like, what if you had, an automatically generated image where it's, I don't know, it's you in that ad or something, or maybe that's a silly example, but like AI images for ads and stuff like that. That was an actual thing brought up by them at like $1 billion company that I knew the founders of. So yeah, they are, but they're not looking to use it for like fun, cool stuff. It's just like making money and ads. So
do you see a future where the moderators get replaced by AI?
Well, no, because a moderator. So here's what future I see. I see a future where the moderator part of it, like the deleting and improving approving comments, is done by an AI tool or filter that the Redditors are controlled. Actually, no. Now that I'm talking about this is already kind of the case. So there is a anti-harassment filter that has been around on subreddits for like 2-3 years or something. And what I can tell you is that this AI harassment filter is a godsend. I would say it cuts the time for moderation down by like, 30-40%. It's very good. Some of these filters are very good. But yeah, obviously that's not 100%. And my hope is that it wouldn't replace moderators. It's that it would free them up to do more things like the more community management stuff, as opposed to the boring moderation that nobody wants to do.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about like the moderators that moderate like hundreds of subreddits, the so-called power mods?
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem because these people are even more power-seeking and terminally in line than I am. Like, dude, I thought I was doing the Reddit Game of Thrones here, but I'm just on one subreddit. These are freaking evil masterminds that are like puppeteering, like the website behind the scenes. These people are scary.
Have they reached out to you or like previously or something like that? Have you had contact with such people?
I have, and there was in fact, a controversy about something like that. I mean, they're I mean, some of them can be nice. Other people are conniving. Other people are, doing both or something. It's I don't know. I haven't really, honestly. LSF has been pretty abstracted away from kind of like the rest of kind of the website. So we have never really had these people really controlling things very much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I got through what I had written down and a lot of like viewer questions. I don't know if anyone is interested in talking to you. Maybe, I don't know if you're interested in talking to other people. I could ask people if they want to join.
I'm afraid this is going to be crazy. I don't want to like yell at a crazy.
Okay. I think Dan might be interested in talking to you
sure,
as well.
Yeah, I can do that. Dan's right, yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe he'll reach out to you or you'll reach out to him, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll just, I mean, if he's doing it now, then I'll stop. Is he?
I'm not sure.
I was just checking right now. I mean, okay, wait, did he say, I don't know, are people in DGG saying this? I don't want to be parent trapped, though.
Yeah.
That means when somebody says like, I want to talk to you, and then other person's like, they want to talk to you, and so but nobody reached out.
I don't have direct communication with Dan, so I can't say. I just know that he was interested in this topic, and apparently he listened to part of
all right, I guess
talk.
He's live. I'll just, I'm like, my voice is a little short. I'm gonna take a break for like 5-10 minutes, and then kind of drop out, unless there's other kind of big things.
Okay, great. I want to thank you for talking with me and answering my questions. And would you be fine with me publishing this on YouTube or somewhere else?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, it's totally fine. And thank you for kind of taking this stuff seriously. I was worried that some of the internet reaction would bleed out into like a lot of the kind of in-person stuff, but it actually hasn't yet. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Talk to you sometime later, maybe.
Yeah.
And good luck. Okay.